Welcome to Breaking Taboo, a podcast where we explore sensitive and controversial topics in an open and honest way. In today's episode, we will be discussing socialism, an economic system that has been the subject of much debate and controversy. So, let's dive into the topic and break down what socialism is, how it works, and its pros and cons. To start, let's define what socialism is. Socialism is an economic system where the means of production and distribution of goods and services are owned and controlled by the community as a whole, rather than by individuals or private companies. The goal of socialism is to create a more equal and just society by ensuring that everyone has access to basic necessities, regardless of their income or social status. One of the main advantages of socialism is that it can reduce income inequality and create a more level playing field for everyone. In a socialist system, resources are distributed based on need rather than on the ability to pay. This means that everyone has access to healthcare, education, and other basic necessities, regardless of their income or social status. However, socialism also has some disadvantages. One of the main criticisms of socialism is that it can lead to inefficiencies and a lack of innovation. In a socialist system, there is less incentive for individuals to work hard and innovate, since there is no financial reward for doing so. Another criticism of socialism is that it can lead to a lack of personal freedom and choice. In a socialist system, the government has more control over the economy and individual lives, which can limit personal freedoms. So, how can we strike a balance between the advantages and disadvantages of socialism? One approach is to create a mixed economy, which combines elements of socialism and capitalism. In a mixed economy, the government provides certain essential services and ensures that everyone has access to basic necessities, while the private sector is allowed to operate and innovate in other areas. In conclusion, socialism is a complex and controversial topic that requires careful consideration and discussion. While it has its advantages, it also has its drawbacks. The key is to find a balance between the benefits and limitations of socialism and to ensure that everyone has access to basic necessities and opportunities. Socialism is an economic and political system that advocates for collective ownership of the means of production and distribution of goods and services. Supporters of socialism argue that it leads to greater equality, social justice, and shared prosperity. One example of a successful socialist country is the Nordic countries, such as Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. These countries have strong welfare systems, free healthcare and education, and high levels of social and economic equality. However, critics argue that socialism leads to inefficiencies, lack of innovation, and reduces individual freedom. One example of a socialist system that failed is the Soviet Union, which had a centralized economy and a one-party system that led to corruption, shortages, and oppression. In recent years, there has been a resurgence of interest in socialism, particularly among younger generations in the United States. Advocates argue that it offers an alternative to the current capitalist system, which they see as unsustainable and unfair. However, there are also concerns about the implementation of socialism and the potential for government overreach and abuse of power. Some argue that it is not possible to achieve socialism without sacrificing individual freedom and creativity. So, is socialism the answer to the current problems facing society, or is it a flawed system that is doomed to fail? The answer is not clear-cut, and the debate continues. In conclusion, socialism is a complex and controversial topic that requires careful consideration and discussion. While there are examples of successful socialist systems, there are also concerns about its impact on individual freedom and innovation. The key is to find ways to strike a balance between collective ownership and individual freedom, while promoting equality and social justice. Thanks for tuning in to Breaking Taboo. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking discussions on taboo topics. See you in the next episode.